Hello, hello. This is Jeanne-Marie Paynel here for another Montessori Moment. It is Friday, and for some reason, I thought I had posted an announcement of me coming on at 10 a.m., which it is now, but it didn't work, so that's okay. I'm here for you. Jeanne-Marie Paynel here live from Curacao for your Montessori Moment. For those of you who don't know me, I am the owner and founder of Voila Montessori, and I guide, support, encourage loving parents to create homes for their little ones, for their children from pregnancy through preschool. My background is in Montessori education and positive discipline. And I have been jumping on live every day and have decided to do so until I leave this beautiful island of Curacao. So that will be 25 days of Montessori Moments, and I'm here to answer your questions. So go ahead and post your questions for me here on when I'm live or when I announce it. But just know I'm here every day, or you can send me a message. And I'm doing these here on Facebook and then posting it on YouTube. And I'm also doing another one on Instagram. So wherever you are, I'm here for you. And as always, I love to know where you're watching this from. As I mentioned, I am here in Curacao, which is an island off the coast of Venezuela in the Caribbean. Beautiful, gorgeous place. And I've been here since early November, helping to set up the first Montessori school on the island. And it has been a wonderful, wonderful experience. And very excited. The school opened its doors on January 6th, which actually marked also the anniversary of the first Casa de Bambini that opened 112 years ago in Rome. So pretty exciting to be here for that historical moment. But I do want to continue sharing these Montessori moments with you. And so today, I had a very nice question that was posted actually on YouTube that I will answer here for you. And this to me is goes beyond Montessori and positive discipline, and it's really about the self-care and the mindset that we need to kind of adapt or really hone in for our own parenting journey. They all look different. We all have different children. We are all different human beings. We all have a different childhood that we are bringing to our own parenting, because as we know, we often repeat what we were shown or how we were treated and such. So, it's really important to ask ourselves questions of how we want to show up for our children, how we want to show up for ourselves as models to our children, and how we want to parent, really, because that is only you can know that. Only you can ask yourself that as to how you want to show up for yourself and for your child, for your family in general. What is your vision of how you want to be for your family? So really important to always, ask yourself and not go down that rabbit hole of comparing yourself to others or such, because other people are other people, and the important thing also is what other people think of you is their business. It's not yours. So, really, and I know that it is much easier said than done, but it's something to work on. It's really something to be aware of, and to give yourself that grace and that self-love, to know that you are doing the very best, and that you are doing the very best with the tools that you were given, and that's what you can do, and to move on. You're here watching this because you're wanting to have other tools, to have other ways of thinking. And that is beautiful in itself, because parenting, life, everything is an ongoing learning experiment. So, like I say, give yourself a lot of love and grace, and know that you are really doing the very best. So, to go on to answer this question that came up, I will show it here and read it to you. So, I would like to know how I can deal with my feelings when my daughter, who is 2.5, a little bit over 2.5 years old, is crying. She cries many times during the day, depending on her state of tiredness and freedom in doing things of how, when she wants. Often I can just hug her and she calms down very quickly, but sometimes her crying awakes resistance, aggression in me, especially when I'm under pressure. Any idea how I can deal with that? I obviously do not want to turn away from her when she is overwhelmed by her feelings, and I would like to help her to learn how to deal with feelings of all kinds, but I don't know how to do that when I am in the red zone myself. So beautiful, and thank you for posting that, because you are helping many other parents. This is, and I love that you are aware of your red zone, and I love that term, because this is very important. And so for here, what I would, there's many kind of points that I want to make here. But first, that awareness is key to knowing that when you've kind of, boiled over, and that this is going to be too much for you to handle. So in this situation, for me, it's always really important to ask yourself, what do I need right now? As caregivers, we are constantly thinking about what the other ones need. But just for that moment, sometimes we just need to, what do I need right now? So that you can really have that sense of, okay, this is, I can feel that I'm getting to a point, my red zone, and ask yourself, what do I need? And maybe it's just that question is going to bring you down. So is going to bring you back into a place where you can come down to your child's level and be there and have compassion for them. So important to first ask that question, and ask also that question in times when you are not in that red zone, so that you can have, and maybe write these down, like write 4 or 5 things that are kind of your go-to calming. It can be to walk into the bathroom and splash some cold water on your face. It can be just to go, wash your hands, like cold water on your hands can be sufficient. It can be maybe you have an essential oil that calms you or that you can rub. Or it can be, having an image that you have on the wall that reminds you of your values and your love and compassion for your child. Whatever those might be, only you know that. So take time to ask yourself those questions, and maybe make a little, list or sometimes have little Post-its around. It's about training ourselves as to what those things might be, and to be able to go back to them. So having that, ahead of time is really important. And then, so in that moment when you are feeling that it might be bubbling up, you have those tools. So, again, whatever that might be, it might be on 5 index cards, and you pull one and that's the one you want to do, or you have, signs around the home that to look to, or, you have something on your refrigerator, or you don't need those and you know them, whatever that might be. So first ask yourself, what do I need right now? What do I need right now to be able to show up 100% for my child? And know that a 2-year-old beyond and a little bit before are are in a very kind of big, developmental milestones in that personality development. This is almost like a crisis. Actually, it is like a crisis that they're going through, of understanding that they are full-fledged individuals. And this is big. These are big emotions that they're going through. So knowing that also really helps us to remember, and some of you might have heard me say this before, of remembering that they are not giving you a hard time, they are having a hard time. And if we can remember that, and remember that when we feel that they're giving us a hard time, take that breath. What do I need right now? Because we need to help them through this hard time. And, that's not wanting to do things on our agenda or wanting to do things their particular way and everything. This is all part of it. They're exploring, they're testing our limits, they're testing their own boundaries. They're just exploring. Remember, they're brand new here. They've only been around for 2 years, and they're trying to figure out, what they can and cannot do and how they can do things. So they're experimenting. So when we can remember that we are here to guide them, and taking that breath and remembering that, this is a moment, and she is, going through this moment in her life where she's just trying to figure out how she needs to show up and who she is and all of that. And, so ask yourself the question, know that this is a moment in time that will pass, but that is truly very important for them, that these are big emotions that they're going through, and they need us to guide them through it. Then the other point I would say is also having a place for her to be able to come to a quieter place, or to be able to self-regulate. And this I've talked about in positive discipline, where we create kind of a positive time out. I don't really like to use time out, but a time in, or a place for us to be able to kind of, come back to our center. And there's a great book also called The Whole Brain Child, which explains also how when the child is having these moments, these bouts of big emotions, that it's really important to remember that they are no longer connected to their own emotional brain. So to not try to reason with them in this moment. And I loved how this mom just knows to give a hug and calm the child to be able to then direct, because we need to have a connection before we can correct anything, right? We need to help them come back to a safe place where they can be connected again back to their own selves, and we also need to connect with them, and remembering to connect with ourselves, because if we're feeling that we're out of sort, that to deal with that. So I hope that was helpful. So I kind of went a little bit all over the place, but really 3 important points. Connect with ourselves first. So ask ourselves, what do I need right now? Then remember that this is an important, developmental milestone for your child, that they are going through big emotions and such, and so that they need our guidance, and to create a safe place for them to be able to have the tools to come back to a quieter place where they can connect back to themselves, and then we will be able to help them. So let me see here. Connected with ourselves. Yes, very much so. Very, very important. Teacher Pat, Raising Geniuses. I love that. I love the name of that. And yes, connecting to ourselves is important, and it's important to help us deal with the situation, but it is also that's okay, thank you. It's important to not only to be able to deal with the situation, but you're also modeling to the child what it is to be human and to have emotions, and how do we kind of, go through it, go through the storm and come out, well. So it's also not only, a very, very important self-care, but it's also modeling to the child like, oh, I need to take a deep breath and see what I need. And then you can show up for them. So really very important. Thank you so much, Teacher Pat, Raising Geniuses, to be here, and I'm glad that you liked all this. So again, this is Jeanne-Marie Paynel here for your Montessori Moment. I will be back here tomorrow. And also just a reminder that I mentioned this before, but my Montessori parenting membership community is open. The doors are open and will be open until February 15th, where I will then close the doors for a few months so that I can really focus on all of you wonderful members. And all of that, you can find it here on the Facebook page in the Learn More on my banner. I will also post the link below, and I have to remember to do that because I'm just remembering that I didn't do it yesterday. So I will do that for you. But if I don't, it is Voila Montessori.com/membership. Voila Montessori.com/membership. And this is my Montessori parenting membership community, where I really share all of the knowledge that I have acquired over my years in the Montessori classroom, mentoring parents worldwide, and all my positive discipline parent educator and classroom educator experience, and also being a parent myself. So I would be happy to welcome you there, and I will post all of that information for you. The link will take you to a page where I have a video telling you a little bit more about it, and where you have all of that information as well. So I hope to see you there, and I will be back here tomorrow for another Montessori Moment. Have a beautiful day. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.